And you remember Mr. Sandman, don't you?
Chris plays Mr. Sandman quite often, actually.
Yes, that's the Charlottes, and that was at number 18. So there you go, some well-known tunes.
Some well-known tunes, and some of them will be in the Cafe 55 next Wednesday.
What, you're going to bring them along, are you?
Well, I don't know. No, we haven't been asked to provide any music, but they've advertised there's going to be music from roughly 1955.
So where are they advertising this? Because I can't find anything on their websites or their Facebook.
They had a piece of paper they distributed. Now, JD, you shouldn't.
Great. Yeah. Well,
yes. Okay.
Who has that piece of paper?
Well, I looked at a piece of paper a couple of weeks ago that they had in the cafe. Now this brings me to my next point, really. That I've been to a print show which is still on this week. If you're listening, this is Phonic FM 106.8 or www.phonic.fm. So you may be somewhere near East London. You may be near Excel, and you may be going to IPEX, or you may be at IPEX now. And that is a massive print event, and it's also the Cross Media show. I think it's on today still. It was Thursday, isn't it? It was on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So the Cross Media show is trying to move beyond paper. So yes, a strategy which just had a pile of paper in the cafe you were trying to promote without putting anything online, that's a limited sort of strategy, we might say. But the Cross Media idea is to try and use paper and online. So JD, you still haven't found anything about Cafe 55 online?
No, I've been doing my homework. You know.
Yes.
I've come prepared to this week.
Yes.
Mad I was, and I couldn't find anything on their Facebook page.
Oh.
Or actually Google it. So I hope they put something up.
They better do something, hadn't they?
No, they ought to do something if it's next week.
But there's several days to go.
Yes.
Perhaps we'll tweet it later on.
I think you should have put a big board on the back of Chris's wheelchair.
Yes.
And then you can whiz around town all day. Advertising.
That would be one way of doing it.
Like a billboard.
Yes. Okay, well we could do that. But JD, one thing that I noticed on our Facebook page, that's if you go to Facebook and look for Wild Show, there's a photograph of a mug.
Yep.
With a slogan on it, which is printed there.
Yes, if you go there right now, it's sitting there waiting for you to have some coffee with us.
And what I've gathered is that there isn't actually a mug with that slogan. You've simply taken a blank photograph of a mug.
How do you know that?
Well, because you sort of mentioned it to me earlier on.
Oh God! It's no going
so
past you.
What I'm leading into is that at the IPEX show, one of the things they were talking about was printed electronics and garments. So you could have a garment which had sort of stitched into it more or less cabling, or certain sorts of cloth or material. You could print on in silver, so it's like a silk screen or an inkjet that is enabling microphones, batteries, loudspeakers,
the whole works.
The whole works.
Oh, right.
So if we're serious about our plan to get out of this studio and go somewhere where we're allowed to drink coffee, all we need is some pre-printed T-shirts with microphones, and then perhaps possibly some cups we could offer our guests, which also have microphones. You see,
ooh,
now
sneaky,
being the straightforward people that we are, we would let them know this ahead of the interview. We're not the sort of people who invite people out for a chat in a cafe and then turn up with a tape sometime later with things they really wouldn't want to have said.
Well, that you speak for yourself.
So
I'm recording you right now, and you don't know.
Okay, so we wouldn't do that sort of thing.
Yeah, no,
we wouldn't do that sort.
No.
But if we had a guest who didn't want to carry our heavy radio microphone kit with all the cables, but preferred a coffee cup with the Wild Show logo on it and a microphone, because I'm just repeating what I heard at the IPEX show.
Right.
I've yet to be sent the free prototype
I'm
try these things out.
I'm looking for a way of using the Wi-Fi so that you can actually plug in a mixer on your huddle or whatever you've got.
Yeah.
And you then put your radio microphone into there, and it will go off into a Wi-Fi
Yeah.
And then we can connect up to Wi-Fi in here. So in fact, you can put loads of microphones into one Wi-Fi link. So if you're interviewing, you're at a carnival or something like
Yes.
that, you can be one end of the street,
Yep.
somebody could be talking, and the other person could be at the other end and talk to each other and still hear each other.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for, is that way, and that'd be really good for us in the way, because then we don't all have to go to the same place to broadcast.
No, well, I'm sure it's going to come, JD.
Yeah.
I think, because there was the analog to digital event,
Mm-hmm.
which was on last week, and it didn't have much about radio as such. But I'm sure there's sort of equivalent events where they do have radio equipment, and maybe radio will turn up at that event later on.
Mm-hmm.
And it all seems to be moving into the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that we've only got one phone line coming in here,
Mm-hmm.
which is, by the way, 01392 434 577, or you could email studio@phonic.fm. But the point is that if the cloud people get their act together, surely we could have 5 or 6 phone lines going into somewhere, and a mixer in the studio of some sort, some sort of visual way of sorting it all out. Because otherwise, we were finding in during the Green Man day and getting the engaged tone in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So we're always going to hit a limit.
Yes.
But we can dream, can't we? We imagine things.
Do we?
Well,
you do it all the time, but I don't. I'm here in reality.
Oh, okay. And that's going to work, isn't it? Somebody is in the studio making sure.
Yes, that everything is working well.
Everything is working well.
Yes.
Okay. So with a bit of luck, if I move this fader up, we will get the sound of Bobby Womack.